Hi guys, this video is going to be about the books that I read in May 2018. I read 3 books this month, so I'm going to just do a quick overview of all 3 books and what I liked about them, what I disliked about them, and I'm going to go in order of the books that I like most to the book that I like least. So the first book is This Is Going to Hurt, Secret Diaries of a Junior Doctor by Adam Kay. For those who don't know, before I was a mum, I was a paediatric nurse and I worked for the NHS, so I was really interested in this book, and one of my nursing friends who I trained with recommended this book on Facebook. So when I saw it in the library, I picked it up. I'll just read the blurb for you. 97-hour weeks, life and death decisions, a constant tsunami of bodily fluids, and the hospital parking meter earns more than you. Welcome to the life of a junior doctor. Scribbled in secret after endless days, sleepless nights and missed weekends, Adam Kay's diaries provide a no-holds-barred account of his time on the NHS frontline. Hilarious, horrifying and heartbreaking. This is everything you wanted to know, and more than a few things you didn't, about life on and off the hospital ward. So it is basically what it said in the blurb. This doctor writes a diary in his years that he worked as a doctor, and most of his time was spent on an obs and gynae ward, and the book is hilarious. It is so funny. The stories in them, it's a bit gruesome at times, but really funny. I love it, and it's got all these kind of forewords in it that explain or not forewords, like footnotes in it that explain the medical jargon in it, and it ends really just with a really important message, and I think everybody should read this book. It also ends with a letter to the health secretary, and it's just really amazingly written, really funny, with some really serious stuff in there, really thought-provoking. Amazing book, highly recommend this. The next book's quite different. This is a thriller that was recommended on another YouTube video, and it's called Then She Was Gone, A Missing Girl, A Buried Secret, Sunday Times bestseller by Lisa Jewell. I'll read the blurb for you. She was 15, her mother's golden girl. She had her whole life ahead of her, and then in a blink of an eye, Ellie was gone. 10 years on, Laurel has never given up hope of finding Ellie, and then she meets a charming and charismatic stranger who sweeps her off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is when she meets his 9-year-old daughter. Because his daughter is the image of Ellie. Now all those unanswered questions that have haunted Laurel come flooding back. What really happened to Ellie, and who still has secrets to hide. So this is a really gripping book. I read this, so I got it on Thursday afternoon, and by Friday evening I finished it. And it's quite a big book to finish in like less than 24 hours. But it really gripped me, and I really wanted to know what happened. So as the blurb says, 15-year-old girl apparently runs away from home, goes out to the library one day, doesn't come back, and then 10 years later her mum meets a man, falls in love with her, he has a daughter, and there's just lots of hidden secrets, lots of twists and turns, lots of things that are quite unexpected, and you don't really know until the end what's going on and what happens, and it just really keeps you reading. Definitely a really gripping book. It's quite harrowing sometimes, it's quite dark, but definitely if you like sort of suspense and thrillers, this is a good one for you. The next book is a book that I just finished yesterday. It's called The Child by Fiona Barton, another Sunday Times bestseller or best-selling author. Let me try and find the blurb. When a paragraph in an evening newspaper reveals a decades-old tragedy, most readers barely give it a glance, but for 3 strangers it's impossible to ignore. For one woman, it is a reminder of the worst thing that ever happened to her. For another, it reveals the dangerous possibility that her darkest secret is about to be discovered. And for the third, a journalist, it's the first clue in a hunt to uncover the truth. The child's story will be told. So again, a thriller. This book I loved the ending. It was really satisfying, really good ending, and sort of, I suppose, the last little bit of the book I read really quickly, but the rest of it I found really slow going, and it took me a while to get into it. So it's basically written. So if I show you inside, let me show you an example. So each chapter is kind of from the perspective of a different person. So there it says Jude, and then you have Emma and Angela and all these different, Kate, and all these different characters in them. One's character is a journalist who is trying to uncover the truth. One character is a mother whose baby was taken from a maternity unit, and one is this woman who has this dark secret that she is scared will be revealed, and basically at the end it kind of links everything together in a really satisfying way. But it is a slow read. It didn't take me that long. It took me maybe a week and a half to read. But you know, compared to this one that took me 24 hours, but this one probably is a more satisfying ending than the other one. But it's definitely interesting. I'm glad I read it to the end. It was a really clever ending, actually, really well written, and I enjoyed that. So those are other books that I read in May. I've got a couple of other books that I borrowed from the library in May, which I didn't get around to reading, so I'm going to read them in June, and I'll see you at the end of June for my video of what I read in June. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Please comment any recommendations that you have for me to read. I really love to hear them. I love new recommendations. I love reading books that aren't as well known. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.